Hi Aquarius, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your September 2021 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And for those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's a Celtic Cross spread as always, and also put an Oracle card and a Mudra card for you guys. We're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus will be as far as that goes. So, okay. We have 12, so that's your 12th house, which for you guys is Capricorn. We have Pluto still in there. Speaking of Pluto, actually, we have Pluto that came up as well. Like I said, it's in Capricorn right now. And we have Libra. So it's going to be tons of energy in Libra. Mars will get there around the middle of the month. At the start of the month, we'll already have Venus in there and Mercury's going to go retrograde in Libra. And then toward the end of September, we're going to have the Sun in Libra. So tons of energy in Libra. And for you guys, that's your ninth house of philosophy, higher learning, foreign affairs. So definitely a lot of focus in there. But we'll get started with the main spread now. All right. In the main situation position, we have the Ace of Cups, the Seven of Wands, which is Leo energy, and the World, which I usually view as Capricorn and North Node energy. So looking at these energies here, well, it looks like this could just be saying you might have some new offers coming your way, or at the very least one new offer coming your way, but it looks like there's some resistance to it on your part with that Seven of Wands energy. And it could be because it's saying, you might feel like you're done with whatever that cycle is. So just as a generic example, let's say it's a love relationship, right? Maybe a person comes back around from your past, wanting to reconcile. I mean, we're going to have that Mercury retrograde, so it wouldn't surprise me, right? And there could be some resistance on your part to that because you might feel like you learned everything you needed to learn from the connection, and that's about it, right? But I do have to say, for others of you, this could be working out another way. I feel like the first one's the primary thing that I feel with it, but another thing this could be saying too is that some of you could be resisting some new offers because you're holding out for the opportunity for reconciliation with someone else, even though it looks like it's saying that, karmically that's already cleared out. So that's what I'm seeing there. It could go either way. And I gave that in the, in the flavor of like a romantic connection, but it could be any area of life. All right, in the challenger obstacle position, we have the Six of Cups. So Scorpio energy here, which for you guys is your 10th house, career, social status. So for some of you, this can be around a job too. Maybe a previous employer that you worked with might come back around and try to offer you something, right? And there could be hesitancy on your part to go back down that route because you might be like, yeah, I kind of left that for a reason, you know. Similarly, with a romantic connection, could be the same thing. If they come back around, you might feel like, yeah, you know what? The connection ended for a reason. I don't really want to go back down that road again. And like I said, for a smaller percentage of you, it could be that you guys are declining new offers because you have hope of going back to something from your past. Still feel that's less likely, but it's definitely possible given the cards we see. All right, in the foundation position, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So this is Jupiter energy, and Jupiter is back in your sign. It's going retrograde. But yeah, just points to expansion in general, things turning around, the timing being better for situations. And that's the good thing about when the karmic planets go retrograde. Usually, if there were anything that any wrongs, they could be righted during those times. So, pretty positive to see this in the foundation position. So, I will say, looking at this with that World card, if this is something that you were hoping to have come back around, it looks like there's a positive there with that. All right, in the past position, we have the Chariot. So this is the major arcana card for Cancer. And it could just be saying that this cycle might have started around the time of Cancer season as far as your movement toward the new things, right? Growth and expansion. I usually view this as North Node, South Node energy as well. So could definitely be some significance around nodes, which are North Nodes in Gemini, South is in Sagittarius. So it could be around friendships, romance, creativity as well. Present position, we have the Star. So this is actually the major arcana card for your sign. So I will say overall, regardless of the noise here, this is definitely a good card to see come up because it is your major arcana. And I will say though, this is the card that comes after the Tower in the major arcana. So some of you might have gone through a Tower moment and that could be why you're resistant to accept new things right now. But either way, it looks like there was a course correction there, and you guys are on the right path now. So if there's a matter of you not feeling able to trust yourselves, I feel like you should be pretty confident with trusting yourselves this month. This might even point to that second full moon that we're going to have in your sign toward the very end of Leo season, because at the time of recording this, we haven't had it yet. But, as you guys know, we had that first full moon in Aquarius at the very start of Leo season, and now there's going to be that second one coming up right toward the end. And that's going to be with Jupiter, too. So we see that Wheel of Fortune connection with that, too. So definitely keep an eye out for some insights that'll hit you around that time. All right, near future position, we have the Eight of Pentacles, Virgo energy, the Moon, and the Two of Pentacles, Capricorn energy. So this could just be saying that you guys are really just focusing on work, but subconsciously there could be something on your mind, maybe a fear of lack, but more than anything, I feel like this is more of saying that you guys are possibly trying to decide between two paths with career. Maybe you started working for yourselves recently, and you're weighing that against maybe staying in your traditional job if you already had one, right? Trying to figure out, okay, is this sustainable for me to just work for myself, or would I still need that secondary source of income? So that could just be some things you guys are mulling over right now, which makes sense. I mean, Virgo season, that's your 8th house, so there's going to be a lot of reflection there as far as investing, and that can be physically investing something, but also your time, your energy, your emotions. Doesn't have to be physical assets only as far as investment goes. All right, in the position of your influence in a situation, we have the 8 of Cups. So yeah, for the majority of you, this does make this more likely that you guys are the ones who are just walking away from something. You might feel like there was no more room for growth in that situation. So like I said, it did come across as definitely a romantic situation for some of you, but can be around career as well, maybe in friendships, groups you associate with. Let me see if anything else comes to mind with this. Well, I mean, there will be a full moon in Pisces in September too. So given that we saw the moon there too, keep an eye out for that full moon too, because maybe that could give you some insight around what you might want to leave behind. Can be around finances, since Pisces is your 2nd house of finances. In the environment position, we have Justice, Libra energy, 5 of Wands, Leo energy, and Ace of Pentacles. So I mean, like we said, we did see Libra come up in your dice. There's tons of energy that are going to be passing through in Libra throughout September. So could be you guys, gaining insight around a situation, right? Maybe around a conflict that you had in the past, or maybe just a competitive environment that you're in, and that could be possibly leading you to want to move towards something new. Now, on the flip side, if this is representing someone else's energy, with the Justice card there, if they felt like there was conflict with you, especially if they felt like they played the major part in those conflicts, this could be them wanting to extend an offer to you to bring things back into balance. Now, I will say, just because it's the Ace of Pentacles, seeing the Justice card here is definitely a good thing, but just because there's the Ace there, this might be saying to give you a heads up to actually see them take the action, right? Because they might talk and say all the right things, but with that Ace energy there, it's like, okay, well, if it was the Page of Pentacles, for example, I'd feel a lot more confident in saying, okay, this person's going to follow through with what they say. But, the Justice card is still obviously more significant than the Ace of Pentacles. So for a lot of you, they would follow through, but I would say just try to actually see it play out before you commit too heavily to anything that they offer. Especially, like I said, given that there will be that Mercury retrograde in the Libra. And then, of course, that could also be pointing to karmically if you guys felt like you were wronged in some way with that 5 of Wands energy. The Ace of Pentacles could just be saying that, you might see a new offer come your way to balance the scales in that regard, but it'd be on a more karmic scale as opposed to coming from the same person or things along those lines. All right, in the hopes or fears position, we have the Ace of Swords. So I feel like this is saying that you're hoping for clarity, right? To see a situation clearly. A lot of aces in the spread, of course, so there is that energy rumbling beneath the surface for you guys, I think, to have some kind of a fresh start, maybe in multiple areas of life, but that's what I'm seeing there. You're just hoping to have that insight and be able to trust it. Like I said, for a lot of you, even though this is a September reading, I think that you guys will definitely get some insight when we get that second Aquarius full moon right before Leo season ends. So watch out for that for those of you who watched this when I first posted. And in the outcome position, we have the Five of Cups. So this is Scorpio energy here, and obviously points to disappointment. Now, I feel like for a lot of you, this isn't necessarily going to be a new disappointment, but more of you guys reflecting on previous situations. And I always point out, too, that the artwork of this card always stands out to me because you see the neutrality of the gray background compared to some of the other cards we see. And to me, that points to that choice, right? Where the person's choosing to focus on the three spilled cups, but there's also the two that are still standing. So even if it's a minor setback for you guys, I feel like it would be primarily short-lived. Like I said, I feel like this is just more of like a nostalgic moment, where you might just think about someone from the past, and then that could be, again, pointing to that Mercury retrograde energy that we'll have toward the end of the month. But I mean, to me, there's just too much major arcana energy here for that to really throw you off course for too long. Speaking of major arcana, at the bottom of the deck, we have the Emperor. So this is actually the major arcana card for Aries, and for you guys, that's your third house communication. So, could just be saying to stand firm, but also to be mindful of how you might come across with communication too. Just be careful that you might not come across too aggressively if that's not what you're aiming for. And also watch out for that energy in others too. All right, moving on to the Oracle card. You guys got Go the Distance. There's the artwork, and the number is 47. So yeah, I mean, for some of you, it looks like it is going to ask you to stay the course, but we'll see what it says. So like I said, for some of you, it definitely looks like you are ready to leave one thing behind. Okay, it says endurance, strength, the long haul. The Oracle's message. To bring your dream to life, you must think long term and pay no attention to the fluctuations in the current of your experience. Joy and disappointment commingle with opportunities, so there is no need to fear the occasional obstacle. Life is not a sprint. This card is a reminder that you have endurance, strength, and fortitude to carry you all the way. Remain true to yourself. Your authenticity alone will keep you in alignment with the energy of miracles. What is yours will never be withheld from you. Remember that. So, where it mentioned strength and fortitude to carry you all the way, that made me think of the Seven of Wands energy there, which we saw is definitely an energy of successfully defending yourselves. And then also when it talked about, the obstacles, to me, that made me think of the Five of Cups energy, which, like I said, it might just be a minor setback that you guys might experience, but I feel like the message there is to try not to lose your optimism around that. If you do have a minor setback, you should be able to still push through. All right, the relationship message says you either are in or are calling in a harmonious relationship that can stand the test of time. For better or worse, as you ride the ups and downs and even strain, break yourself, and are remade in new growth, you are being redeemed by the power of regeneration. Harmony does not mean there will never be a wrong note played, but that the relationship is marked by endurance and dedication to overall unity. A new song can be written, an instrument can be tuned, and the symphony of love will play on. Listen with your heart. Isn't it magnificent? So definitely a pretty positive message there too. And like I said, if this was just one of the more minor situations, it does look like there is the opportunity for that to be healed. Like I said, if the other person comes forward, just try to at least observe to see if they plan on following through, if they're just saying all the right things, but they're not going to follow through. That would be the only thing to watch out for, I feel. All right, the prosperity message says your most precious dreams are not about instant gratification, but enduring prosperity. This is a time to think long term and engage in continued action. You will experience momentum building as you translate the ebb and flow into slow and steady movement forward. Your efforts, ideas, and hard work now can lead to greater riches than you can imagine. Stoke the fire so that an uninterrupted stream of energy is available to support you in all the phases of manifestation. Be assured that you are in the right place right now. So, pretty positive message there as well. So, hopefully that resonated with you too. And lastly, we have a Mudra card. So, the Mudra you guys got this month is the Anjali Mudra. There it is there. The keyword for it is reverence. All right, and All right, there we go. There's the info on it if you want to pause it or take a screenshot to read a bit about it. But under benefits, it says calming and centering, facilitates connection to the heart and central channel, evokes feelings of humility, reverence, and devotion. So if that sounds like a mudra you think would be beneficial for you guys, we'll put it in the description video as always. We'll wrap up there and I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.